Hi there, ladies, gentlemen, and those in between. I know another video that's also way the fuck late after the situation happened, but I felt very passionate on this topic, and I was also too lazy to record a video before. So, you know, another fucking delayed reaction, but alright. Anyways, yeah, the Amazing Digital Circus fans think they have the right to exist, and it pisses me off. They think they have the right to be alive while being so fucking stupid. Anyways, to explain, the finale of The Amazing Digital Circus released like a couple months ago by now, actually. Right? And after episode 8, the whole fandom just went to hell. From what I've seen by just being online, everyone has started to turn on the creator, Gooseworks, for essentially making the show the Jack Show, right? By focusing, as critics say, way too much on Jax and their story instead of literally anybody else. He's also been referred to as a, what do you call it? A self-insert. Now, for those of you not as terminally online as me, a self-insert is what is referred to in fiction when a writer, an author, decides to make a character not just focus on aspects of their own life, but making the character essentially them in real life, essentially who they are, basing a lot of their personality and personal experiences into said character. A very popular example of this would be Dipper and Mabel Pines from Gravity Falls, famously being known as the self-insert for Alex Hirsch and his twin sister. A different, much more infamous example from a couple years back is Velma. Like how I feel like, as we all know, right, Velma was a very mixed when the show first started releasing, and a lot of that hate that started going towards the show was because Velma, instead of being accurate to the source material of the original 60s show and other adaptations that have come out since that original show, it was instead changed to Mindy Kaling Show Part 2, where Mindy Kaling, the producer and voice actor for Velma, basically just changed this iconic, very famous, well-known character from a very famous, profitable franchise, and out of her own narcissism, I suppose, made the character just herself. And for anyone who's watched Velma, you would know Velma is very annoying in the show. Very annoying, preachy, kind of a bitch, pain in the ass. Mind you, I've not seen the show, alright? I don't have any right to call her a bitch. Mindy Kaling could be very pleasant in real life. Maybe she is, but I'm not here to speak on that. I mentioned these two examples to show that while self-inserts do have a kind of bad reputation when it comes to media discussion online, they aren't always bad. Like what I said with Alex Hirsch. For anyone who's seen Gravity Falls, you would know Dipper and Mabel have a very likable dynamic. They're very funny characters. To be straight up, it does make a lot of sense for an author to take aspects of their own life and put that into the show that they're making. The issue that many of the fans found with The Amazing Digital Circus was that Jax felt like he was taking so much role in the show, and they believed that he shouldn't. And it was also later clarified by Gooseworks that he was meant to be a self-insert of them, being Jax in the show being someone who is confirmed to be trans, male to female. Something that I did a lot in the previous video I did on this show is defend Gooseworks, and I'm still going to do it again here. Listen, right, just because you don't like Jax does not mean that you can fucking insult the creator of Gooseworks. Just because you think that Jax is a dick, you know, doesn't mean you can just take that and use that as an example for the creator. You know, you can't condemn Gooseworks for actions that Jax did. I haven't checked Gooseworks Twitter in a bit, but from what I do remember, was that Jax was more or less supposed to be an example, a look at Gooseworks at their most like dark, or I should say more most problematic. Something that I'm very passionate about, I should say, as somebody who is a Latin American man, is that representation in all forms of media are very important. Take like a show like Justice League, the animated series. You needed diversity in that show, or else it would just be kind of bland and boring to look at. All right, who the fuck wants to watch a story about like 8 white guys? Fucking shut up, you know. It's important to have people of different backgrounds, different genders, different ethnicities, because not only is it just more pleasing to the eyes to look at, but also it's more interesting to learn about those characters and their best set backgrounds. Me personally, I'm not a transgender person. However, I feel that you should still have representation in all ways, no matter what. Just because Jax is an example of a bad person does not mean that he is inherently bad representation. And I think it's kind of fucked up to say that somebody who is trans can't be a bad person. I feel like when doing representation for a specific marginalized group, you should treat them the same as any other character that you would consider normal to you, you know? Like a common writing technique for men trying to write women is to just write them as you would a man and then just change them to be a woman. To be clear, in some cases, can't really do that a lot, you know? Like, I do feel like there should be queer stories in which they focus heavily on, you know, the queer aspect of their lives, same as there should be stories about race that do focus heavily on their race. However, not all stories that have a black man should be focused on their blackness if it's not integral to the plot, if it's not even about that at all. It just seems like you're othering them and saying that black people can only have stories about being black. That's something I went over in my Backrooms video. You should go watch that. Please, I need the views. And going back to Digital Circus, Jax being trans is important to their character. Maybe even just a little bit. Them not being able to accept themselves and truly open themselves up to other people is what ended up in the implosion of their relationships. It's what ended up othering them from everybody else, isolating Jax to the point where Ribbit abstracted, Kaufmo abstracted, and ultimately Jax abstracted. Seeing the backlash after episode 9 was really just so fucking annoying, because everyone, or at least where I was looking at, was saying that Jax is poorly written, that episode 9 was ass, that the fucking Gooseworks was horrible at writing, and specifically the fuck ass criticism with the song. Isn't she lovely? God, those memes pissed me off so goddamn much, man. Also, something I feel like just pointing out is that Jax isn't really, like, well, I think about it in terms of in fiction, he's not really that bad of a guy, you know? Like, fucking Vegeta committed multiple genocides daily, and people like him. I mean, he had a good redemption arc. And same with Omni-Man, right? People like Omni-Man, and he's objectively way worse than Jax, you know? Jax didn't kill anybody, right? Not really important, but it's just, he's not really that bad. I mean, like, he's just he's kind of like a dickhead, you know? Like, I don't get what was everyone hating on him. Yeah, he's a piece of shit. Yeah, but like, it's not, like, chill out, you know? I heard the argument that you usually see a lot, where whenever, like, the villain character gets a tragic backstory, which is, oh, they're excusing their actions. They're trying to make you feel bad for the horrible, evil man. How dare you, man? People are treating Jax as if he got, like, acquitted from the writers, as if all their actions got forgiven, when, like, if you just watch the episode, he's dead, you know, he dies. and he stays dead. Like, there's not a happy ending for him. He gets a sad ending. When he dies, everyone else in the circus is happier without him. Like, I genuinely don't understand this wave of criticism, because no one forgave Jack. No one's forgiving his actions. That's not what Gooseworks did. They just focused on Jax because Jax is important to the themes of the show. To be clear, I watched an episode from Sarcastic Chorus, and so I'm going to be paraphrasing some of the stuff he said, but a lot of the integral themes of Digital Circus is about finding meaning in a meaningless existence, making do with what you have and finding a meaning in that. In other words, the opposite of the nihilism and the, like, I'm 14, I think this is deep type of rhetoric that Jax exposits whenever he gets explained what he thinks of the circus. The reason he's so heavily focused on is to show what can happen when you, like, devolve into this r/atheism, nothing matters type of belief system. And it's like, I just need to reiterate, Jax gets the bad ending, guys. Like, what are we doing here? Just acting as if his actions were ever excused by the story. Anyways, one final thing I wanted to address was everyone speaking on the fact that Jax was male to female instead of female to male. This specific one kind of just pissed me off, because the creator itself, who Jax is based off, is male to female, and they themselves confirmed that Jax was male to female transitioned, or male to female trans, whatever however you say it. Jax's, like, slight bit of sexism and, like, the way he treats women is a response of their own, like, internalized misogyny, and how they were raised to believe that anything that is feminine is wrong, like a lot of insecure men. I remember seeing this one comment where that specifically pissed me off, where it was calling Jax sexist because they specifically tormented the female members of the cast. And I just want to state, they're all female. They're all women. Besides Kinger, they're all girls. And if you want to, like, count Jax, they're all women. Like, I don't understand. You can't just say, yeah, Jax only targets the females. He only targets the women. Who else was he supposed to abuse? Because they're all women. Did you want him to specifically target, like, Kane and Kinger? Because at that point, it's just elder abuse. At that point, you're advocating for Jax to start doing elder abuse. And there's also other criticism stating that if you're going to include a trans or a diverse character, then it should be at least explicitly said in the show that they are queer or trans or diverse in nature. It's sort of like the age-old queer baiting debate that that you see going around online. Now, the thing with Jax is that they were implied to be trans, like, for a while at this point. Very kind of heavily in episode 8 with the whole ripping off Jax's skin in his nightmare sequence, showing that, like, he's very afraid of showing people who he really is, or else he should be getting laughed at. And similarly with the maid outfit and Jax's whole room. And I'm sorry, man, Jax being trans has been a very popular theory for a while now, man. If you're going to episode 9 not being aware of that, that's kind of on you, man. Little be fuckers bitching about media literacy that will also turn around and say that, well, he wasn't called trans in the show, so they're not trans. I have been referring to Jax using he, him pronouns when, you know, they are, or at least wanting to be a woman, right? You know, because trans. However, because of the fact that Jax doesn't transition in the show, and because of the fact that he uses he, him pronouns himself and is uncomfortable with feminine pronouns, I'm going to say he, him, because that's what he calls himself. To be clear, looking through my past two videos, it does like me talking about inclusion, me talking about diversity, and people oftentimes be responding to ideas that are for inclusion and responding to stuff that is more like progressive in nature. I just want to say I'm not a right wing grifter. I'm not somebody who wants who hates on this by any means. Last two videos are about me talking about like woke stuff, so to say. I am not against woke. I am not somebody who just hates. Oh, they're fucking ruining my show with gay themes. You know, I support the LGBTQ. I'm more far left, if anything. But I just wanted to go over this real quick because it just pissed me off saying the TDAC fans talk about their show. And they're like, the discussion is so stupid, man. The discussion after episode 8 has just turned into them calling the creator racist, which, hey, I haven't done a lot of research on that specifically. Who knows? Maybe Gooseworks could be really racist behind the scenes. I wouldn't know. However, I myself have a very big respect for Glitch Productions and Gooseworks, and so I'm I guess choose to give them the benefit of the doubt. I respect the people who made the show and the people who are producing it, and so is this a Fed post? Maybe. But hey, that's about wraps. Make sure to please like, subscribe, and tell me what name I should change this channel to, man. Please just give me a cool name. Please. Anyways, that's about it. Have a wonderful evening. And then please subscribe, man. Please.